Hello again, my name is Kat, welcome back to my channel. So, as you guessed from the title, we're just going to talk about the movies that I watched in the first half of the year. Some of these were rewatches, some of them were new watches, for a variety of different years. I'm not going to go too much into detail about most of them because we'll be here for ages, because I watched quite a few, like 50 odd in the first half of the year, so we're just going to get straight into it. With that being said, the first couple of movies, I just want to say beforehand that I in no way support J.K. Rowling at all. I think she's a terrible human being. I don't condone anything that she said. Harry Potter was something that I did watch as a child and grew up on, both the books and the movies. So as you can guess, the first two movies that I watched were Harry Potter movies. This was The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Goblet of Fire. These weren't ones that I chose to put on. I was at my mum's house and her husband was watching them at the time, so I was just there, so I did watch them while they were on. And obviously I did really enjoy Harry Potter when I was growing up, and that's all I'm going to say on the matter, because I don't agree with anything that J.K. Rowling has said since with her views. Anyway, the next movie was Night of the Living Dead, which is a horror movie. It is from 1968, and I did enjoy this. I like horror movies. It's really interesting to see. It's one of the first zombie movies, I believe. It was just really interesting. I like that now I see the references to this movie in like Shaun of the Dead. Like with the "We're coming to get you, Barbara," all of that. I just thought it was a really interesting movie, and yeah, would recommend that one. The next movie I watched was The Help, which is from 2011. I've got my list here, so if I keep looking down, I'm just looking at my laptop because I've got the list. This was about trying to think of the right words to use. It's about America when black people were predominantly staff for like rich white women, and it's this other white woman who is writing a book about the black women who work for these rich white women and what life is like for them. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really brilliantly like told and portrayed. I believe it's based on a book. I don't know if the book's based on truth. I know it's like an actual it's a thing that happened, like the whole women of color being staff for white women. I know it's a thing that happened. I don't know if the characters are fictional or if they are based on real life people, but it's very powerful, and I would recommend that one. And the next one was another rewatch, which was Bruce Almighty. Came out in 2003. It's Jim Carrey. He basically gets God's powers because he feels like God is punishing him. And I think this film's hilarious. I always enjoy this movie when I watch it. Just, it's a good time. It's a really good time, and I have nothing bad to say about the film. Then I watched She's the Man, which was 2006 by the looks of it. It's Amanda Bynes. She wants to play football, or soccer, as you say in America. And she has to pretend to be her brother in order to play on a team because they've cut the female football team from the school. Again, really good movie, quite funny. But there were so many underlying LGBT tones that I think if it was done today, I think it probably would be done a little bit differently. Yeah. Then we did Tales from Earthsea, which was 2006. It's a Studio Ghibli movie. I believe it's based on some books. I just thought there wasn't enough dragons in this movie, It's not my favourite Ghibli. My favourite Ghibli is probably Princess Mononoke. It's so good. Moving on, we did Hot Fuzz, which was another rewatch. I love the Cornetto trilogy. Hot Fuzz is just amazing. Like, absolutely love it. It's hilarious. 10 out of 10. All around, I would always recommend the Cornetto trilogy to everyone I ever meet. Then it was Ellie and Abby and Ellie's Dead Aunt, which is a lesbian love story. It was okay. It was fine. Like, it got half marks for me, 2.5 out of 5. You know, it was just one of those movies where I was like, like, it didn't do much for me. I've watched better, but I've also seen worse. Then one of the ones I was like highly anticipating is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves. And I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think my expectations were a little bit too high. But no, I still really enjoyed it. I think all the actors were amazing. Sophia Lillis especially is just a really good actress. I love her. Then I watched Sing, which is the one about all the animals that come together to do this show to win money to get the guys like business back on the ball. Back on the ball? Yeah, I guess. Sing was fine. Like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it again. I probably won't be watching the second one, but you know, it was alright as far as animated kids movies go. Then I watched The Fog, which is another horror. That is a John Carpenter movie. That one was really good. Quite eerie, quite spooky. Jamie Lee Curtis, love, love, love. Really enjoyed that one. I would recommend that one to everyone. It's just got this whole thing of like being trapped and spooky things going on. I think John Carpenter's brilliant at horror. The next one I watched was another Ghibli Ghibli, which was Ocean Waves. I really liked this one. I thought it was interesting. I definitely thought it was going to go somewhere else, but it didn't. The female character I hated. I couldn't stand her. But the two main male protagonists were really cool. Yeah, again, not my favourite Ghibli, but we move. Then I did a rewatch of Just My Luck, which is about two people who meet, and one of them's like the luckiest girl in the world, one of them's like the unluckiest guy in the world. They kiss and their luck swaps. It's got McFly in it. What else can I say? It's got McFly in it. That's all I care about. Then I watched Wayne's World for the first time. That was wild. I loved it. I don't know why I didn't watch it before. But yeah, Wayne's World was really good. Then I watched Things Seen and Heard on Netflix. Heard and Seen even. Things Heard and Seen. Watched this one because Natalia Dyer's in it. She wasn't in it much. Yeah, it was fine. Like, it was just kind of meh. I was expecting a bit more of a twist. I was expecting ghosts or something, and that didn't happen, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Then probably probably the worst one I watched in the month was Cocaine Bear. It was just bad. It was awful. It was hilarious of how bad it was. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. So then we go on to February. So the first movie I watched in February was The Cat Returns, another Ghibli. That one I really enjoyed. I thought it was really funny and cute, and just, yes, I really enjoyed that one. Then I did Kill Bill Volume 2, which, oh my god, I fucking loved. Love Uma Thurman. I loved Kill Bill Volume 1. So this was the first time for me watching Volume 2, and I think I prefer Volume 2 to Volume 1. Yeah, it's so good though. I love it. Then Bend It Like Beckham, which was really good. I'd never seen it before, which is a crime. Like, it was really good, but I think it should have been gay. Yeah. Then a couple free rewatches. I watched Thumbelina, which isn't the best, and I don't quite enjoy it as much if I watched it for the first time today as because I grew up with it, so I have a lot of nostalgia for it. Then I watched WALL-E, which is adorable still, and I think WALL-E is just a beautiful film. And then Freaky Friday, which is just fantastic. Like, you can't go wrong with Freaky Friday. And then we move into March. So The first movie I watched in March was The Fly with Jeff Goldblum. Fantastic film. Absolutely fantastic. Again, horror movie, love it. Then I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was amazing. I think it's probably one of Tarantino's best. My personal favourite of Tarantino is Kill Bill, like Volume 1 and 2, if you put them together. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood comes after them. Like, it was really good. Then I watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which, oh my god, this was just mind-blowing. I really enjoyed that one. Just fantastic. Then the next movie I watched was Sophie's Choice, which I hadn't seen before. I'd heard so many things about it. I knew it was going to be sad, and it was. It was like gut-wrenching, but just fantastic, fantastic movie. I feel like it focused a bit too much on the male protagonist rather than Sophie, but that's by the by. Then I watched Resident Evil Death Island, which is an animated Resident Evil movie. Yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's not like god awful. It was fine. Then Black Swan, which was amazing. Like, Black Swan was so good. I would die for Natalie Portman. She's just a beautiful lady, and Mila Kunis, like, really good movie. I would highly recommend Black Swan to everyone. And then it was Velvet Buzzsaw, which was so bad. I'm sorry. Velvet Buzzsaw is probably one of the worst movies I've seen this year. That was on Netflix. I just wouldn't bother with that one if I was in anyone's shoes. And then The Wizard of Oz was the last one I watched in March. Love it. I love Wizard of Oz. It's just beautiful, fun. It's great. It's great. So April, the first movie I watched in April was the first time I went to the cinema of the year, which was for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I actually really enjoyed Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I know there was a lot of characters and like it was hard to keep track of everyone, but just I love Ghostbusters. The only Ghostbusters movie I didn't enjoy very much was the one with the women. Every other Ghostbusters movie, I think they're all great. And then that made me want to go back and watch Ghostbusters 2 because I hadn't seen it in a few years. And I think Ghostbusters 2 is arguably hilarious. Like, it's not as good as the first one. The first one is still the best one out of all of them. But yeah, Ghostbusters 2 is still hilarious. Then I did Child's Play, which was really weird, but I really liked it. So, you know, I would kick Chucky like multiple times though. Then The Wind Rises, another Ghibli. I thought it was really sweet. I preferred the love story out of everything else in the movie. But, you know, we move. Then a rewatch with Finding Nemo. And I love Finding Nemo. I think it's my favourite Pixar movie. It's just cute. I love it. Like, I have no bad things to say about Finding Nemo. And I watched Judy, which was like a biopic about Judy Garland. I did enjoy this one. It's really interesting to see what she was like as a person because I didn't really know a lot about Judy Garland, but it was really interesting just to watch that and find out a bit more about her life. And I've got two more for April, which was When Harry Met Sally, which I thought was really good. I'd never seen it before. I know it's one of those ones that's highly regarded. Just a really cute movie. And then Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which I think is hilarious. I know there's not really any plot, but it's just so funny and, you know, it's got boobies. We move on to May, and the first movie of May we watched was Strange World, which was a Disney movie. Not their best, not their worst. It was fine, like, yeah, it was just kind of, it was mid. That's all I have to say. Then I watched From Dusk Till Dawn, which was the first time. That was insane. The whole foot thing was really strange. Give me 1 second, I just need to plug in the laptop because it's just died on me. Like, Tarantino is a strange man. Brilliant man. Strange. Very, very strange man. The dogs are gonna bark now, aren't they? Yeah, like the whole thing with having Salma Hayek pour tequila down her foot into his mouth. That just was weird, quite frankly. Then I watched Pompoko, which was another Ghibli. Really enjoyed it. I just love the tanukis in this movie, but I think in the English dub they called them raccoons. But I just, either way, they're just really adorable. Then I went back to the cinema and I watched The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. Absolutely hilarious, loved it. Was it Ryan Gosling? Yeah, it was Ryan Gosling, not Ryan Reynolds. Brilliant movie. 10 out of 10. I would definitely recommend that to everyone. Then I watched Dragonheart, which I hadn't seen before either. I'm trying to like do this thing where I watch mostly movies I haven't seen for this year because I've got so many that I want to watch. Dragonheart was really good. I think it sets the bar for dragon movies. Then I watched Asteroid City, which isn't my favourite Wes Anderson movie, but it was still really good. It was really weird though. I don't know. It was a strange movie, but Wes Anderson's a strange guy. Then I watched I Am Sam, which, you know, it wasn't the best. I just felt it was kind of not really the greatest language being used in that movie. There was a lot of like of the R slur. I didn't like that. I'm sorry for the dog barking. I thought he was going to be quiet, but apparently no. Then I watched Midsummer, which was amazing. It was so spooky, so scary, but fantastic. Then Batman Returns, which is the second movie in like the Tim Burton kind of Batman-esque universe. Love it. Like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, best Catwoman. Love her. Then Little Miss Sunshine, which was really good, and I thought it was really sad as well. Right, last month, the dog was going to be barking for the whole thing, guarantee it. June, the first movie I watched in June was Yes, God, Yes, which is a rewatch, which is about a Catholic girl who discovers, I don't really want to say the word on YouTube, but she discovers some things while on the internet, and is got quite a lot of temptations. Really good movie. It's got Natalia Dyer in it. I love her to the end of the earth. Yeah, great movie. Then I watched About Time, which is another rewatch, and it's one of my favourite rom-coms of all time. I think it's just so sweet, so sad, absolutely amazing. Another rewatch was Ella Enchanted, which I still think is really good. It holds up. I've never read the book, so I can't compare it to the book, but it's a childhood movie for me. Then I watched Lisa Frankenstein, which I loved, and I'm really sad I didn't get to see it in the cinema, but it was really good, and it was quirky, and just I really enjoyed it. And Catherine Newton is phenomenal. Then two more rewatches with Juno, which stars Elliot Page, and I really love this movie. It's just so great and beautiful, and yeah, love it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules. I don't know, I was in a weird mood. I wanted to watch something from my childhood, which evidently turned out to be that, and I still really liked it. Then I watched The Black Stallion, which was good. It's a horse movie, so you know, it's one of those movies where the horse is like, oh, it's like a horse that won't race, and then he does race, and then he wins, and it's just very bit predictable, but I really liked it. And then the last movie I watched in June was Animal House, which I did not like. It was very frat boy, and yeah, didn't really like it. But yeah, those are the movies I watched for the first half of the year. I'm gonna try and do it for each month so I can talk a bit more about the movies, because this was like 20 minutes long, so that's without me going into detail. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Throw some comments down. I will say, if you're gonna leave some comments that are negative, I'm just gonna delete them. Like, there's no point. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and I will see you very soon.